Title: When the memories faded, so did the illusions. Chapter 1: Shadows of the Past. Naomi stood at the edge of the lake, the cool morning breeze tugging playfully at her hair as she gazed into the water. The surface mirrored the world around her, the sky a brilliant blue streaked with wispy clouds. Yet, the vibrant colors of the scene felt distant, muted by the heaviness in her heart. She had come here seeking solace, hoping to find some peace from the turmoil that had invaded her life. Just months earlier, Naomi had been filled with dreams of a future built with Ethan, the man she had loved fiercely. Their relationship had seemed perfect, a love story written in the stars, until it all came crashing down with a revelation that shattered her world. The betrayal cut deeper than she could have imagined, leaving her grappling with feelings of inadequacy and sorrow. Ethan's admission of love for someone else had left her feeling as though the ground beneath her was crumbling away, leaving her adrift in a sea of despair. The sun glinted off the water's surface, casting a shimmer that reminded her of the flickers of hope she once felt. She thought of the laughter they had shared, the dreams they had painted together with bold strokes, now washed away like the footprints she left behind in the sand. Each step she took away from their past felt like a step into the unknown, and she couldn't help but wonder if she would ever find her way back to happiness. As she stood there, the weight of her emotions crashing over her like the waves lapping at the shore, Naomi resolved to confront her pain head-on. She would no longer allow it to define her. This lake had become her refuge, a place where she could reflect and explore the feelings she had buried deep within. The serenity of the surroundings offered a contrast to the chaos that swirled inside her, a reminder that life could still be beautiful, even amid heartache. On that particular morning, Naomi sat on a weathered bench overlooking the water, sketchbook in hand, attempting to channel her pain into art. She had always found solace in drawing, each stroke of the pencil allowing her to express emotions that words could not convey. As she sketched the serene landscape before her, she felt a flicker of inspiration ignite within her. Perhaps art could be her healing balm, a way to reclaim her identity and find peace in the chaos of her heart. With every line she drew, Naomi allowed herself to delve deeper into her feelings. The first few sketches were hesitant, shaky lines reflecting her uncertainty. But as she continued, her confidence began to grow, and the sketches transformed into something beautiful. Each piece became a testament to her resilience, a visual representation of the journey she had begun, a journey toward healing and self-discovery. Just as she was losing herself in her art, she heard a voice behind her. "That's beautiful," said a woman who had approached, her presence warm and inviting. Naomi looked up to see a kind face framed by tousled hair, her eyes sparkling with genuine admiration. "Thank you," Naomi replied, slightly embarrassed but grateful for the compliment. "I'm just trying to capture the beauty around me." "I'm Lila," the woman introduced herself, settling onto the bench beside Naomi. "I'm here for a retreat focused on art and healing. It's been a life-changing experience." Naomi felt a pull of curiosity. Art and healing? What does that entail? Lila smiled, her enthusiasm contagious. "We explore our emotions through different forms of art, painting, writing, even music. It's a way to express what we're feeling and let it out instead of keeping it bottled up inside. You should join us. It's a safe space, and you'll meet others who understand what you're going through." Naomi hesitated, the fear of vulnerability gnawing at her. Yet, the thought of connecting with others and channeling her emotions into something constructive was appealing. She could feel the weight of her heart beginning to lighten at the prospect of healing. After a moment, she nodded. "I think I will. I could use something like that." As they exchanged stories about their respective journeys, Naomi felt a spark of hope igniting within her. Lila's warmth and understanding reassured her that she was not alone in her struggles. The retreat offered a glimpse into a world where pain could transform into art, and despair could become resilience. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow over the lake, Naomi realized that this was only the beginning of her journey. With newfound determination, she stood up, clutching her sketchbook tightly. The shadows of her past were still there, but for the first time in a long while, they felt a little less daunting. Chapter 2: The Retreat. Naomi arrived at the retreat center nestled in the heart of a serene forest. The air was crisp, infused with the scent of pine and earth, and she could hear the distant rustling of leaves as a gentle breeze whispered through the trees. As she stepped out of her car, a sense of anticipation filled her. This was a new beginning, a chance to find herself again amidst the chaos. The retreat center was a charming old lodge, its wooden beams exuding warmth and comfort. Lila was waiting for her at the entrance, her face lighting up with a welcoming smile. "I'm so glad you made it," she exclaimed, wrapping Naomi in a brief but heartfelt embrace. "You're going to love it here." After checking in, Naomi was shown to her room, a cozy space adorned with simple yet inviting decor. The windows framed a view of the forest, allowing natural light to flood the room. She took a moment to breathe in the tranquility before unpacking her belongings, placing her sketchbook prominently on the bedside table as a reminder of her commitment to healing. That evening, they gathered for an opening circle in a spacious room filled with soft lighting and comfortable seating. The atmosphere was infused with a sense of community as participants introduced themselves, sharing their stories and the reasons they had come to the retreat. Naomi listened intently, her heart swelling with empathy for the struggles and triumphs of others. Each story echoed her own feelings of loss, pain, and the desire for renewal. When it was her turn, she spoke softly but with sincerity. "I'm here to rediscover myself after a painful breakup. I've always found solace in art, and I hope to heal through creativity." As she spoke, she felt the weight of her emotions lift slightly, the act of sharing making her feel less isolated. The group offered supportive nods and smiles, creating an invisible thread of connection among them. The retreat unfolded with a series of workshops and activities designed to explore various forms of artistic expression. From painting to poetry, Naomi immersed herself in each experience, allowing her emotions to flow freely through her art. Guided by skilled instructors, she learned to embrace vulnerability, transforming her pain into beautiful expressions of hope and resilience. Lila became her confidant, a source of encouragement as they shared their creative processes. Over shared meals and late-night talks, Naomi discovered more about Lila's own struggles, a tumultuous past that had led her to seek solace in art. Their bond deepened as they encouraged each other to confront their demons, paving the way for healing and understanding. One afternoon, as they sat outside sketching the landscape, Lila turned to Naomi with a serious expression. "You know, it's okay to grieve. It's part of healing. But don't let it consume you. Use it to fuel your creativity instead." Naomi nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude for Lila's wisdom. She understood now that healing was not a linear journey, it would be filled with ups and downs. Yet, through art, she could navigate those turbulent waters. As the retreat progressed, Naomi found herself blossoming in ways she had never expected. She poured her heart into her sketches, transforming her pain into vibrant images that told her story. Each piece became a cathartic release, a testament to her resilience, and a reflection of her journey towards self-discovery. Chapter 3: Confronting Shadows. Weeks passed, and the retreat brought Naomi face to face with not only her creative side but also the shadows that lingered in her heart. One evening, during a group activity centered around writing, she was prompted to create a letter to her past self. As she wrote, the tears flowed freely, a release of emotions she had kept locked away for so long. "Dear Naomi," she wrote, her hand trembling slightly, "I know you're hurting right now. It feels like the world has ended, but I want you to know that it's okay to feel lost. You are stronger than you think, and this pain will not define you. You will find your way back to yourself." When she read her letter aloud, the room filled with silence, her words resonating deeply with others. She felt exposed, but liberated, the act of sharing her innermost thoughts weaving a tapestry of connection among the group. They were all there, struggling with their own shadows, yet together, they could find light. Later that night, Naomi found herself in a quiet corner of the lodge, sketching furiously. She was pouring her emotions onto the page, channeling her grief into a piece that felt like a cathartic release. The image took shape, a representation of her fractured heart slowly being mended by vibrant colors and swirling patterns. It became a visual narrative of her healing journey, a testament to her growth and resilience. As the days turned into weeks, Naomi formed close friendships with other participants. They shared meals, laughter, and heartfelt conversations that dug deep into their souls. Lila was often by her side, offering support and encouragement, reminding her that healing was a process meant to be embraced, not rushed. One day, as they were preparing for a group exhibition showcasing their artwork, Naomi felt a rush of anxiety. The thought of sharing her work with others made her heart race. What if they didn't understand? What if her art didn't resonate? Naomi, Lila said, sensing her unease, this is your chance to shine. Your art is a reflection of your journey, and it's beautiful. Don't be afraid to share it. You might inspire someone else. With Lila's words echoing in her mind, Naomi resolved to push through her fear. She spent countless hours perfecting her piece, pouring her heart into every brushstroke, determined to convey her story through art. The culmination of her work felt like a celebration of her journey, a testament to her resilience and newfound strength. Chapter 4: The Exhibition. The day of the exhibition arrived, and the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and anticipation. The gallery was adorned with colorful artwork, each piece reflecting the stories and emotions of the participants. Naomi stood nervously in front of her work, her heart pounding in her chest. As guests began to arrive, she watched as they moved from piece to piece, their expressions shifting from curiosity to admiration. When someone paused in front of her artwork, Naomi's breath hitched. What if they didn't understand her? But then, she heard it, a soft murmur of appreciation. This is beautiful. You can feel the pain and healing in it. The words wrapped around her like a warm embrace, and for the first time, she felt proud of what she had created. As the evening unfolded, guests engaged in discussions about the pieces, sharing their interpretations and emotional connections. Naomi found herself drawn into conversations about her art, and she spoke passionately about her journey, how her heartbreak had transformed into a source of inspiration. When a woman approached her, eyes shimmering with tears, Naomi felt her heart swell. Your piece spoke to me. I've been struggling too, and seeing your work makes me feel like I'm not alone. In that moment, Naomi realized the power of art. It had the ability to bridge the gap between hearts, to connect people through shared experiences. She felt a sense of purpose ignite within her, a newfound commitment to using her creativity as a means of healing, not just for herself but for others as well. The night culminated in a heartfelt toast, where participants celebrated their journeys and the bonds they had formed. As Naomi raised her glass, she felt a sense of gratitude for the experience that had changed her life. She had stepped into the light, shedding the shadows of her past. Chapter 5: A New Dawn. The days following the exhibition felt like a whirlwind of emotions. Naomi found herself reflecting on the impact of her art and the connections she had made. It was as if a veil had lifted, allowing her to see the world with renewed clarity and hope. Encouraged by the positive response to her work, she began to explore new avenues for her art. She delved into different mediums, experimenting with painting and collage. Each new piece became a reflection of her evolving journey, a celebration of her strength and resilience. Meanwhile, her bond with Lila deepened. They spent hours discussing their dreams, aspirations, and the healing power of art. Lila introduced Naomi to various art communities, where they attended workshops and exhibitions together, expanding their horizons and igniting their creativity. One afternoon, as they sat in a cozy cafe, sipping coffee and sketching, Lila looked at Naomi with a thoughtful expression. You know, you have a gift for inspiring others. Have you ever considered teaching? I think you'd make a wonderful mentor. The suggestion took Naomi by surprise. Teach? I don't know if I'm ready for that. What if I can't help others? You've been through so much, and you've come out stronger. Your journey can be a guiding light for someone else. You have so much wisdom to share, Lila encouraged, her eyes shining with belief. Naomi pondered the idea. Teaching could be a way to connect with others and share the healing journey she had experienced. It felt like a daunting challenge, but the thought of empowering others through art ignited a spark within her. As weeks turned into months, Naomi began exploring opportunities to share her passion. She volunteered at local community centers, leading art workshops for individuals seeking solace and creativity. The experience was transformative, not only for her participants, but for Naomi as well. Each session became a space of healing, where people shared their stories and found solace in art. Chapter 6, The Unexpected Reunion. One evening, as she wrapped up a workshop, Naomi felt a familiar presence behind her. Turning, she was met with a pair of warm brown eyes. Ethan. The world around her seemed to fade away as emotions flooded her heart, memories of their time together flooding back. "Naomi," he said softly, the weight of regret heavy in his voice. "I didn't expect to see you here." Her heart raced, a mix of anger and vulnerability swirling within her. "What are you doing here, Ethan?" "I wanted to apologize," he said, stepping closer. "I've had time to reflect, and I realize how much I hurt you. I'm truly sorry." Naomi's heart pounded as she struggled to find her voice. "Apologies don't change the past, Ethan. You broke my heart." He nodded, his expression sincere. "I know. And I've regretted it every day since. I want to make things right, to show you how much I've changed." Naomi felt a surge of emotions, a whirlwind of anger, sadness, and longing. Could she really trust him again? She had spent so long healing, reclaiming her sense of self, and the thought of revisiting their past filled her with unease. "Why now?" she asked, her voice steady but laced with vulnerability. "Why did you come back?" "I've been doing a lot of soul-searching. I realized that I took our love for granted. I want to earn your trust back, to show you that I'm not the same person I was before," he replied earnestly. Naomi's heart ached at his words, but she also felt a protective instinct rising within her. She had worked hard to rebuild herself, to find joy in her art and her new life. Could she afford to let Ethan back in? Before she could respond, Lila emerged from the side, sensing the tension in the air. "Hey, everything okay?" she asked, her eyes darting between the two. Naomi forced a smile, unsure how to articulate the chaos within her. "Just catching up." Ethan looked at Lila, then back at Naomi. "I'll give you space to think. But I hope we can talk again." As he walked away, Naomi felt a mix of emotions swirling inside her. Part of her longed to reconnect, to revisit the love they once shared. But the other part reminded her of the pain he had caused, the trust that had been shattered. Lila placed a reassuring hand on Naomi's shoulder. "Are you okay?" "I don't know, Lila. Seeing him again stirred up so much. I thought I had moved on, but now I'm questioning everything. It's normal to feel that way. Just take your time. You've come so far, and you deserve to put yourself first," Lila encouraged. Naomi nodded, grateful for Lila's unwavering support. As she left the workshop that evening, her heart felt heavy, but she also recognized that this moment was part of her journey. She had the power to choose her path, to decide whether to embrace the shadows of her past or to step boldly into her future. Chapter 7, Ties That Bind. In the weeks that followed her unexpected reunion with Ethan, Naomi found herself grappling with conflicting emotions. Memories of their love and the pain of betrayal clashed in her heart, creating a storm of uncertainty. As she poured her feelings into her art, the swirling emotions found their way onto the canvas, reflecting her inner turmoil. Determined to navigate this emotional labyrinth, she decided to take things one step at a time. Lila's advice echoed in her mind, to prioritize her well-being and take the time she needed to heal. So, she focused on her workshops, guiding others through their own artistic journeys, finding strength in helping them heal as she continued to explore her own emotions. One afternoon, as she led a session on expressive painting, she caught a glimpse of Ethan standing outside the studio, watching her. His presence sent a rush of adrenaline through her, and she felt a wave of vulnerability wash over her. After the session ended, he approached her, his expression earnest. "Can we talk?" he asked, his voice steady but soft. Naomi hesitated, the memories flooding back, both the joy and the pain. But she also recognized that she couldn't keep running away from her feelings. "Okay," she replied, leading him to a quiet corner of the studio. "I've been thinking a lot about what I said before," he began, his eyes searching hers. "I understand if you're angry or hurt. I just want to explain why I left and how I've changed." Naomi took a deep breath, preparing herself for the conversation. "You hurt me, Ethan. It wasn't just the breakup, it was how you treated me afterward. I felt like I wasn't enough. He nodded, his expression filled with regret. I realize that now. I was selfish and blind to what we had. I took you for granted, and it's something I'll always regret. As he spoke, Naomi felt a mix of empathy and caution. She wanted to believe him, to see the growth he claimed to have achieved, but the scars of their past remained fresh. How do I know this isn't just another empty promise? Because I've taken steps to change, he said, determination in his voice. I've been working on myself, going to therapy, addressing my flaws. I want to be better, not just for you, but for myself. His vulnerability struck a chord within her, and for a moment, she saw the boy she once loved. But the question remained, could she trust him again? Could she allow herself to feel vulnerable after everything they had been through? I need time, Ethan, she said finally, her voice steady. I've worked hard to rebuild my life, and I won't risk losing that again. If we're going to explore this, it has to be on my terms. He nodded, understanding written across his face. I respect that. I just hope you'll give me a chance to prove that I've changed. As they parted ways, Naomi felt a flicker of hope mixed with trepidation. It was a complicated dance, one that required patience and trust. But she had learned to embrace the uncertainties of life, and perhaps, in time, she could also embrace the complexities of love. Chapter 8, The Canvas of Healing. With each passing day, Naomi delved deeper into her art, using it as a form of healing and self-expression. The act of creating became her sanctuary, a place where she could confront her emotions and let them flow freely onto the canvas. Her relationship with Ethan lingered in her thoughts, a constant reminder of her past. She decided to keep her distance while still allowing him to show his commitment to change. Meanwhile, her workshops flourished, and she found joy in guiding others through their own artistic journeys. Each participant brought their unique story, and together they created a tapestry of shared experiences, healing, and growth. During one workshop, a young woman named Mia opened up about her struggles with self-worth. I feel invisible sometimes, she admitted, tears glistening in her eyes. It's like no one sees me for who I really am. Naomi felt a pang of empathy, recalling her own journey of overcoming self-doubt. You're not invisible, Mia, she said gently. Your story matters, and your art can help others see you. Let's create something that embodies your strength and beauty. As they worked together, Naomi encouraged Mia to express her emotions through color and form. It was in moments like these that Naomi realized the profound impact of sharing her experiences. Her heart swelled with gratitude for the opportunity to inspire others while continuing her own healing journey. One evening, after a particularly fulfilling workshop, Naomi returned to her studio and stood before her easel, brush in hand. She decided to create a piece that reflected her journey, the darkness of betrayal, the light of healing, and the beauty of resilience. As she painted, emotions poured out of her, each stroke becoming a release of the burdens she had carried for too long. The canvas transformed into a vibrant explosion of colors, deep blues and purples symbolizing her struggles, merging into bright yellows and greens representing hope and growth. With every brushstroke, she felt lighter, as if she were shedding the weight of her past and embracing the possibilities of her future. Chapter 9, The Choice. As the months passed, Naomi continued to navigate her relationship with Ethan cautiously. He respected her need for space and had been consistently checking in, showing her through small gestures that he was committed to changing his ways. Each message, each conversation felt like a step forward, but she remained guarded, afraid to let herself fall back into old patterns. During a quiet evening in her studio, Naomi received a message from Ethan. Can we meet? There's something important I want to discuss. Her heart raced, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through her veins. Was he ready to share his true intentions? Could this be the moment they both needed to redefine their relationship? When they met, Ethan appeared visibly nervous. Naomi, I've been thinking about our future. I know it's been complicated, but I want to make it clear, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to earn your trust back. I want us to be more than just a memory, I want to build something real. Naomi felt a flicker of hope at his words, but the walls around her heart still stood tall. What does that look like for you, Ethan? She asked, her voice steady. I want to be there for you, to support you in your art and your journey. I want to prove that I'm not just the guy who hurt you, I want to be someone you can rely on, he replied earnestly. The sincerity in his eyes stirred something within her. The boy she once loved seemed to shine through the man standing before her. But could she truly trust him again? Ethan, I appreciate what you're saying, but I need time. I've built a life for myself, and I don't want to jeopardize that. If we're going to explore this, it has to be slow, she emphasized, her heart racing with vulnerability. He nodded, understanding her hesitation. I can do that. I just want a chance to show you that I've changed. As they parted that evening, Naomi felt a weight lifted from her shoulders. The conversation had opened a door, but she was cautious about stepping through. For now, she would focus on her art and her workshops, allowing herself to heal fully before making any decisions about the future. Chapter 10: Embracing the Future. With the new year approaching, Naomi felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Her art had become a powerful tool for healing, and she had found fulfillment in mentoring others through their journeys. Each workshop felt like a celebration of resilience, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. As she reflected on her journey, she realized that her experience with Ethan had been a catalyst for her growth. It had taught her the importance of self-love, boundaries, and the power of forgiveness. She had emerged from the shadows, ready to embrace the light of her future. One evening, as she stood in front of her easel, she decided to create a piece that symbolized her commitment to herself and her dreams. She envisioned a radiant sun rising over a serene landscape, the colors blending harmoniously to represent hope and new beginnings. With each brushstroke, she infused her heart into the canvas, celebrating her journey from heartbreak to healing. The night of the New Year's celebration arrived, and Naomi felt a sense of excitement bubbling within her. She had decided to host a small gathering with her closest friends, including Lila, to celebrate the progress they had all made. As they toasted to new beginnings, laughter and warmth filled the room. Naomi felt a deep sense of gratitude for the people in her life, the ones who had supported her through thick and thin. She realized that her journey had not been one of solitude, it had been a collective experience of love and healing. As the clock struck midnight, Naomi closed her eyes and made a wish for the year ahead. She wished for continued growth, for her art to inspire others, and for the courage to embrace whatever the future held. In that moment, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She was ready to face the unknown with an open heart and an unwavering spirit. As she stepped into the new year, Naomi knew that her journey was just beginning. With every brushstroke, every connection, and every choice she made, she would continue to weave the tapestry of her life, one filled with resilience, love, and the promise of brighter tomorrows.